break. Out on the street chasing wrong from right. Eyes like fire burning through the haze. Truth is a weapon, cuts through the maze. Some call her trouble, some call her brave. Digging up secrets they tried to save. A real deal around town. She's breaking it down. Spinning the wheel, exposing the sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her cry, yeah. They whisper in shadows, they curse her name. Afraid of the spotlight she brings to the game. But the grateful ones, they cheer in the dark for the spark she ignites in their weary hearts. Some call her danger, some call her hope. She's the thin line on the tightrope. Oh, real deal around town. She's breaking it down. Spinning the wheel, exposing the sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her crown, yeah. Real deal around town. She's breaking it down. Spinning the wheel, exposing the sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her crown, yeah. The truth's her crown, yeah.
Let's see, what have I got here? Okay. How's everybody doing? Let's see, I'm back again. Trying to see how this is supposed to be working. Anyway, I just added a banner on the bottom. You can see breaking news. I have breaking news. Tonight, I'm going to be doing the FinCom meeting, which is coming up in about 30 minutes. But I wanted to talk to you guys before we got started with that. Do a little intro. The FinCom's doing the regular thing, but breaking news. Breaking news today is we've had a resignation in Town Hall. I know a lot of people have already heard about it. I was probably the last person on earth to find out. But no, now you are. Somebody out there in the audience is going to hear this first from me. And, the breaking news. Who was it? Who resigned today? Oh, I don't know if they resigned today or yesterday or in the middle of the snowstorm. They had enough. I don't know. Nelson Moy, our town administrator, has resigned. Not immediately. It's not an immediate resignation. It is a... Let's see. I'm deleting something from my thing. Okay. It's... he resigned effective, I think, January 2nd. I have not seen the resignation, and that's all I know. He resigned, and it's effective January 2nd. I have no other information. I have not seen the resignation letter. I do not have any idea what the Board of Selectmen are doing with this, but I don't think it's a surprise to them. I think, I don't know. Everything in this town is behind closed doors. There's just so much. And I already know that over the last month or two, I lose track of time, but a few meetings, the Board of Selectmen has gone into executive session with different people, but they've gone into executive session with the town administrator to negotiate contract something or other. Now, I don't know. I was speculating that this was one of the possibilities. Was it he was going to resign? I don't know if he was asking for a package. I certainly hope that there isn't one coming because we don't have the money. I don't believe there's anything. I mean, I don't have a copy of his contract. I haven't had a chance to really get a handle on this. So I apologize for not having all the information. I usually have a lot, and I don't have everything today, but I have a whole bunch. Well, I have, but I got, just knowing he resigned is good. We're good. So I will be trying to dig up his current contract to see if there's anything wishy-washy in there. But if the Board of Selectmen that was select board, I gotta call him the right thing. But the select board has been having executive sessions with him. I think negotiating something. I don't know what. And I don't know if we'll ever find out. Or maybe we will, where, I don't know. I have to find out whether or not that's a public record. The meeting minutes from the executive session are public record. So we'll see. Whatever. My assumption over the last couple of months has been they were negotiating his departure. I don't have any inside information on that. The select board, none of the members have told me on the side or anything. No secrets. Town hall's been silent until today. But I've suspected over the last few months with these executive sessions off cycle because his contract isn't up for renewal. And I know he's had some challenges over the last year and a half almost. So, I'm not at all surprised that he's resigned. I mean, I may say more at some other point in the future, but I think, the select board was, I don't know who, it's interesting when these things are happening, whether or not who asked for the executive session, who asked to go into some kind of contract negotiations between Nelson and the select board. That would be telling, but I don't know. Nelson could have asked for that, or the select board could have. I'm not sure. I would believe either one, and I could give you a whole list of issues on both sides on who would be asking for this and then why. I could sit here and speculate up and down, but I'm gonna hold back because it's not fair, and I'm way over the top. And I suspect over the next week or so, more information will come out about how did this happen. I don't know. Yeah. So the issue now, this town cannot go a day without a crisis. Now we have like at least three crises going on at the same time. Before we even talk about the budget, but everything impacts the budget. Everything. We've got the lawsuit, and that's going to eat up a lot of money. I don't know what is going on with that. I don't know why liability is not involved. I don't know. We need to find out more, but it's all executive session. We need more transparency around here. I've been saying that since day one. And then we have the ethics problems that are associated with the lawsuit, but we do have the Gary Shepard and the David Vigent ethics complaints that are just blowing up. We'll get a little bit more information in January. Maybe before that. We might get We should get a date on Gary's preliminary hearing. I suspect that will be in January. I think that they will wait till after the holidays because there's a bunch of holidays to deal with between now and January, and it's better. Then you have days like yesterday, the snowstorm, but that's a whole nother thing. So we got those, and now we're without a town administrator. Now, the select board they have to come up with a plan to get another one, to have an interim, and to restart the selection process. I'd even volunteer to be on that committee if somebody wants to nominate me. I would be interested. I would be interested in, not to be an asshole. I mean, I'd really be interested. I keep volunteering for things, and it impacts my channel when I do, but that's okay. Maybe I shouldn't do that, because then I could sit here and speculate and get you guys going and keep you informed. But if I'm on the committee, I can't talk about it. So I don't know. It's just a thought. I'll consider it if I get offered. I don't know. I think I could have good input, though. I think I'd be a safe bet to provide. They know I've been paying attention. They know I know what's going on around here. So we'll see. I don't know. But that's not the issue tonight. The issue was Nelson Moy has resigned effective January 2nd. That's my breaking news. And the select board will probably, I suspect, if Ross Perry is available, he'll probably find his way back to town hall. Although, let's see. Depends on how much we've paid him this year. I don't, because he's retired, so he's limited on how much he can earn from anywhere in municipal government, and he does these interim gigs. He might not be able to help us out this time. So we shall see where that goes. But they'll be doing a selection committee. I don't suggest they do the grand scheme that they did last time. We see where that got us. And I think they should have a little bit more focused. And I don't think it really needs all kinds of categories. The select board needs to get down and dirty and really take an honest look. Don't get the politics out. There's all kinds of people that they deserve it. We need to, because of this, that, and the next thing, we need to make sure this can happen rather than, and so they have money in the game, or they have something to gain from having the right town administrator. I think one of the reasons that I would consider volunteering for the selection committee would be that I don't have anything to gain. I have no skin in the game. I want to see the town have a strong candidate, a competent town administrator, somebody who's got a few years under their belt and is willing to come get us out of the hell we're in. And I don't have a political agenda. It would only be to make sure, speaking from a taxpayer and somebody with a little bit of experience in town hall, let me at it. I think I could be very, very helpful and resourceful for that committee. Now here I am campaigning. I may not even be interested because my channel gets impacted when I do stuff like that. But, and I certainly am not saying I would think about such an appointment to benefit my channel. It would hurt my channel because I can't talk about the committee. I can't talk about the selection process of the new town administrator on my channel if I've been appointed to the selection committee. It would be beneficial for the people who don't like me talking on my channel about everything under the sun. It would put a gag in my mouth by putting me on the selection committee, because then I cannot discuss it at all on my channel. And that's a ruling from ethics. I've already called them in the past about certain things like this. And if you want to put a gag on me regarding the selection process for the next town administrator, and I've indicated that I might be interested in being on that committee, that's how you shut me up. You get me on that committee. And I would probably be a good candidate for that committee. But the committee should have people who know what the hell's going on and could actually be and know what a town administrator is supposed to be doing. And regardless of what you think about the people, if they're good people that know their stuff, then they should appoint them. They don't need to appoint their friends, people they owe something to, or somebody that will select who they want. Somebody. This has been going on in town for years. This kind of behavior, and they need to cut it out. They need to because we're in trouble. This town is in financial trouble, and I do talk about it a lot. And we need somebody in that seat that can get us out of it, and who knows the impact of these budget problems, and how to get out, how to resolve it. What a budget's supposed to look like. I can think of one person. He won't come over. I know. I hope he likes his job. Is John Coderre. He's out in Ashburnham. He just started there this year, and he's top notch budget. He's the guy. He teaches budget at the annual town finance committee conferences, and he's really good. And I would love to see him even do consulting over here, just help us, but to get us out of the hole we're in, and to talk not only to us, but to, the townspeople, which I think is very important, as well as our leadership, to get off their ass and, stop with the games and deal with the problems that we have. But budget. The FinCom hasn't come up. Their meeting hasn't come online yet. I already logged in today, so I didn't have to do it on your dime. So people are leaving. No, stay, wait. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, the FinCom will be here. But I'm going to mention again, I'm going to keep talking about this for the next several months. Despite the fact that we got another crisis, I know that people are going to be really iffy about this, but I still think we need to have an override in the spring. And I do have suggestions, which I'm going to be putting things together to counter the concerns that are out there. I need to where are my comments? In case somebody says something. I have a plan, which is actually something new that the Department of Revenue has put out there, which I'm sure standalone, it probably won't pass, despite the fact that we really could use it, is to help with their senior citizens need help. Whenever I mention override, we got seniors who can't afford it. They're on fixed incomes. It's like, yeah, hello, that's me too. In case you didn't notice, I am elderly and I'm retired and on a fixed income, so I am impacted by that. So I'm not in the dire straits group. I'll admit that. I know there are people that are much worse off than I. And they got the mic open. Should we go join them? Let me take a look at what's going on. We're looking at windows. Vehicles driving by. They don't know they have a hot. Uh, I'm not going to pull it up. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. If you're in the chat, can you tell me whether or not you can hear the noise? sometimes, I don't know. I've had volume issues. Wow, that's loud. Carol Hospice is, they're talking about how cold they are. But if there's somebody in the chat, can you tell me whether or not you can hear the noise in the background? Can you hear me? 'Cause I've had volume issues. I would really like somebody to tell me. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Hey, TCAM, I can hear you in the audience, but I don't think they can hear you in the room. I don't know. I'm just waiting on them to get their act together. Okay, I'm not going to bring them up until we're closer to the beginning. Okay, I'm back. StreamYard went down. All right, I'm going to bring them up. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know if my stream actually went down. I don't know what you got. I'll have to wait for the replay to find out myself. Let me see. Okay, you ready?
I haven't started
found you in
baking.
so much trouble.
I made some dough and I froze it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I already made one batch of cookies and I froze them, so I'll
Yeah.
just thaw them out.
Yeah, I
But,
could do that too, I suppose, but
but,
I thought the dough, and then I thought
That's what I think
Yeah,
it was right
but-
there.
the week before.
So
did
hopefully
you know, my
that's
cousin's
all
having
Yeah,
a Christmas
I'll
party,
go
so I'll
down and
bake
I'll
for that.
Get those to the.
try and talk to you up here and,
Yeah, yeah,
If
we
we
don't
have
have a
that.
whole lot that
and
goes
then
on.
hopefully you hear me.
Everybody comes
You
over
can
for
answer me
dinner,
back.
and then my daughter, my son, and my granddaughter will be at the house Christmas Eve.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear
Okay,
you.
your audio's working then. Good.
Doors to let some heat in here. I noticed earlier
Okay.
Yeah,
that most of the
Thank
want
you,
is actually
Cindy.
beyond these doors.
And I just want to let you know that I'm live streaming right now, so this
I
isn't.
wouldn't recommend putting that out.
Okay,
because
so
that'll
So
make
watch
so
what we
much
say?
noise
But watch what you
that
say.
it'll-
You're on my live stream, so
Heat from here.
Okay.
letting you
All right,
know.
thanks for the heads up, Cindy.
we could give you a cookie if you were here.
Yeah, you sure you don't want to come down?
I'm still snowed in. I mean, I got my driveway plowed and I cleared off most of the snow off my truck, but I still don't want to drive in it. You guys are going to freeze your butts by the time you go home.
Oh, I know, it's supposed to get really cold.
Who's ever going home?
Oh, it's not November, it's December. What am I doing?
I know, it's hard to believe it's December already.
I know.
No, the way, it's just formed.
It's gone by way too
Yeah.
fast.
I was gonna say, all of this was predicated by a week before Thanksgiving. My oven started on the fritz. It would work for a half hour, then cut out, 5 minutes, cut out, 15 minutes,
So
cut
you
out.
have to get a new stove.
You're done.
So
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you.
Do you want an agenda? Do you have?
I have one, thank you.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Is it gonna be cool in here?
Yeah, we need the fireplace up here so we can put a log on the fire.
And hang stockings.
It's in stockings, it's in Christmas
I have
carols.
one of the electric ones, they're not bad. But
I had one of the electric ones.
Oh, you're right.
Hmm,
I bought my
Who
daughter's.
made the cookies?
Dawn,
what do you think?
And it's
I was looking at those I knew those were yours.
The raspberry,
The raspberry.
really.
yeah, if Jerry's here, nobody's gonna get any more raspberry.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
taking them all.
Okay, okay. I like your sweater.
Thank you. Pretty warm. I just came from another meeting. I do the reading of the, VFW democracy papers for the, high schools.
Oh,
It's fun. It's very interesting.
well, look at your mittens match your sweater.
Oh,
You're so coordinated.
yeah, so coordinated. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Sandy Moore Gate, oh, well, is Mary Jane coming tonight?
No,
Okay,
no, I talked to her and she can't.
okay.
So I don't really have much, but if we get to a point we need to share things, we'll-
Okay, so, what are we gonna do? Oh, we're not on TV yet, okay.
not yet.
No, but-
We are being live
but-
streamed.
We are being
Live stream, Cindy's live streaming,
Oh,
so, so. so cute.
Mhm.
It's my first one.
Who are we missing? Oh, Sam.
Sam,
And Mary Jane.
Hmm,
These are very good.
the lemon?
Mm.
need a
This
cup of
meeting is being recorded.
tea.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, there she is, right there, the real deal.
Oh,
We'll give Sam just a minute.
Now, who's our,
Anything.
liaison, is it Valerie?
It is,
Is she coming this evening?
she didn't say if she was or not.
Hmm.
She usually catches up and
Mhm.
watches the recordings. So, well,
Okay,
I suppose we're on time, we have a quorum, we can call the meeting to order and take. So at this point, I would call the meeting to order for the Townsend Finance Committee, December 3rd, 6 p.m. We got, and attendance, please.
Carol Hoffs is present.
Dave Walker present.
Kathy Spofford present.
Jerome Bazik is present.
John Hayes present. With that, we have 5 members present. We have a quorum. We are good to continue. This meeting is being recorded. It will be available on the YouTube channel as well as playback on the local channels. I did receive information that we have one person live streaming this. In addition, is there anybody else on the line that is recording?
Who else is live streaming?
It's just Cindy.
Oh, all right,
Cindy is
okay.
live streaming. And again, she let us know that it is being there, and generally those are then later posted.
This is not an endorsement. Not what.
So,
Sorry.
that being said, we have just the one person recording. At this point, 1.4 additions or deletions, I did not have anything more to add or delete from the agenda. Moving on, section 2.1, the curbside recycling program update. At this point, it's on me. I have not been able to connect live with Carla. which was my intention at the last meeting. I did hear from Valerie, and she said that, soon there will be a meeting between Board of Selectmen and Board of Health to discuss the details of the plan and all the data, the tonnage reports.
Are we invited or not?
Well, at this point, I think we would make it a 3-board meeting, and we would do a joint meeting with all 3 boards, and we'll get the same information. And again, that's a way of making sure that every board
Right.
that has the same.
Have they set that meeting now?
I have not seen the
Okay.
meeting date yet.
And then there's no issues having 3 board meetings, I mean,
No,
new to
there is,
this.
there is
As long
not.
as it's-
As long as it's all posted.
As long as it's all posted, and because I expect we'll have lots of questions, along with Board of Selectmen. And we'll be looking for answers at that point,
And you don't know if it's the Board of Health going to the Select Board's meeting or the
Mhm.
Select Board going to the Board of Health.
right,
Because
yeah,
it's different nights.
right, it's
Okay.
different nights, different times, so, I will get that and send out, post a meeting notice, and go in as much as I can, get the data in advance of doing that.
So if we are jointly meeting with them, do we have to post like a full agenda for the finance committee as well? Or is our agenda basically participate in the discussion with the Board of Health?
It's, yeah, it's a joint meeting between all boards. We will generally have the preliminaries and the adjournment, and just a work session that says we're having a joint meeting.
Okay,
So in essence, it's a full agenda, but we open the meeting, we
right,
do the business, and we close the meeting. So
right.
we actually did that with the Board of Selectmen, the Audit Committee, and the Finance Committee earlier this year when the auditors came in, Roselli and Clark.
Okay. I must have missed that one.
Okay, but yeah, so it's not uncommon to do 3 boards,
Right,
and where there will be activity from all 3 boards with questions, we do need to post it. So we'll do that, and again, I don't know exactly when that will be. If it's not, then I will,
do we believe it'll be this month?
I believe it will be this month, because we're getting into the 6-month timeframe. If not, it's the very beginning of January.
Would be very interesting anyway, what's coming up.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So that's where we are. I mean, it continues. As we looked at the data last time, the bags is approaching 34,000 a month in revenue, so it's been fairly consistent. So, hopefully that continues. I know recently I've been supporting it pretty well.
Yeah, we have
You
to.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to.
Yeah, so, what more bags usage this year than last year, but,
We had less, I think, usage went down.
Well, around the holidays, it always
It
goes
goes
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this-
Now when you go to your brother's for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Oh, is that what you did?
Oh, that's what I need to do. Find another place to go.
Sorry, I'm just checking the vehicle.
Unfortunately, they all came to my house, I probably had,
Oh, I know. How many bags did you have?
Oh, I
You
know.
had a ton of
That was
them.
a crew.
had 30 people, never mind bags, you know.
Okay.
And we just did Chinese food. So-
Did you really?
That's Hayes Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We do a turkey with one, and my family gets together a while, but not this year, but generally it's Chinese. But, okay, enough of that. Moving on to item 2, to discuss the ClearGov software presentation that we saw with Board of Selectmen. I don't know if you were there.
No, I missed that one
Okay,
too.
so,
I don't know how we could possibly afford that. We don't have any money. I mean,
well,
let's
number
get
one,
real here.
yeah,
I mean,
so,
Yeah,
so there were,
today I'm realistic.
well, that's the piece. It's kind of like, we had a presentation, the ClearGov people came in, and they, they showed how the software works. It's basically a web-based user interface, and the data goes in behind it. You load the data, and then you can pop around it and see, you can run different scenarios for what if there's a 2.5% increase, what if there's a 2% increase. So there's some scenarios you can do with it, but it's all about populating the data into that package. It's kind of like, so they presented to us that there is data loads, but there's no detail. I didn't see any detail. So it was about a 15-minute presentation for the software.
$1,000 per minute.
And the initial price for the 6 month, they said that included, it was just under $10,000. That they would include the data load and the licenses required to use it
For a period of time.
for the period of time until the licenses would expire, say at the end of June.
So that's
Then-
6 months.
And then what would it cost to renew it
Approximately 20,000.
Plus,
for a full year?
Plus the onboarding fee.
yeah,
Plus the onboarding fee at that point were about
Was-
6,000.
Is 76.50.
I was gonna say 75.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
when you say the data loader, are they saying that they will take back year's data and load it into the system for it?
It was not clear how many years they would go back. It's not clear what data they would load, whether it's the omnibus, whether it's after, at the end of a year, after we do all the adjustments with the municipal transfers. So I think there's a lot of open questions about what it is. This is one software package. Doing a quick online search, I found 8 companies that do this kind of software for government agencies, or municipalities, if you will, including the company in Acton that we use Vader as our software. So if there's a company that we're already doing business with, their data import or export might be a little easier in using fields that people are already familiar with.
And what do we use the company in Acton for?
All of our accounting software, so all the transactions, invoices, and payment, the budget, the omnibus budget that we did at the beginning of the year,
Okay,
all of those budget lines get entered as to what the budget for each line in, so the account numbers, at the beginning of the year, the money will be attached to each one of those in the system.
in that software.
In that software. Then as the weekly or bi-weekly warrant article is approved and signed by the Board of Selectmen, when a payment is made and the account is referenced on those sheets, the money gets posted to that account or debited to that account. So that's where we come up with the BVA
Right.
that says this is how much was budgeted and this is how much we're spent
so
to date.
so we're actually already using a company that does,
We're
Great.
already using a company that, when I did a Google search, that they said they have software for, budget planning.
So we should definitely talk to them then. and find out.
I think that's, yeah, so I don't think we should, our recommendation to the Board of Selectmen and the town administrator would be, let's look at the next and see what the pricing is on other options. Because if you're talking about, let's say 20,000, and that was not including, say, the capital planning module. So that's just
Well, I mean, because sometimes too, with software companies, I mean, if you buy more than one product, you get a discount.
Mhm. Yeah.
You might get a discount
Yeah,
on,
there
say, the
is.
second product.
there is a discount. There's a 15% discount for 2 modules and 20% discount for 3
For 3.
modules.
So there is a discount.
But then again, is the license a yearly license?
It
And if it is, then it goes up every year. I mean, I've never
could
known
do.
a
You'd
software
have-
company that doesn't go up.
You'd have
with
to
their
have a
license.
contract with that.
Well, but no, but I'm saying if we've already using this other software company, we might get a discount on their package
True,
that includes
Yeah.
some of the
you
items
may,
we're
so
looking
it's
for.
kind of like, so that's why.
So why do we just look at this other company to see what their pricing was
Right.
before we went to clear
I think
down?
because we had it before.
We
Well, we
tried,
didn't use it.
we had a
No, we
grant,
didn't
no, there was a
We didn't
grant,
use it.
right, there was a
Oh.
grant. And
So I
we-
think that's why, because they've
right,
heard
they're
of it.
familiar with it.
Oh,
But does the accounting, and I know the assessors uses Vadar,
Mhm.
do they like the program?
I don't know, and
And that would be.
And that's
the name
of the
question.
company.
because the
Vadar?
question is,
Vadar.
are we move, yeah, VADAR. So if are we gonna plan to move away from Vadar is
Well, that's a good
base
question.
accounting
Yeah.
system. So, yeah, there's questions
Because it would
there.
be kind of
because-
nice to have everything that could kind of all
Right.
merge
And,
together.
and if we work the effort to say, this is what the information in Vadar is today, again, you're gonna have to take it, export it to a database that is importable by ClearGov. And then you have to have fields that match. There's lots of behind the scenes
Mhm.
things that have to work. You have to match data types. It's kind of like, if somebody has only 15 characters, but you need 25 in a field, that's custom,
Hmm.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why are we looking into this so late in the year? Because even if we were to
I-
contract with them,
Mhm.
and I think this
I
kind of,
don't think, I think it's too late to get, because our
for this
budget
year,
for this year, but, so those are the things, I think this needs to be an evaluation time more than our
right,
budget.
than an actually usable
Right,
database.
yeah, I mean, we're here at the beginning of December, the budget letters will be going out probably this week, if they haven't gone already.
Mhm.
And then we hit it, and the first budgets are due back, first week, the end of the first week of January. It has been prior schedule, so, I don't think we could use it for this year, but you could mirror it if we knew, let's say, what the real requirements and what's the purpose of using it.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of like, when I look at it, what problem are we trying to solve by using this
Right.
software? I haven't seen. And if the answer is we're trying to do better budgeting, we have about 500 actual lines in the budget that we're dealing with. At 500 lines by, say, 20,000 a year, kind of expensive.
Yeah,
In my world, it's kind of like,
no, I
But-
agree.
Yeah.
if
Especially, it's even more expensive when you don't have money.
right, and which is where we are. How would we come up with this? And if it's 20,000 a year, how would we add that into the budget? With Prop 2.5 and no overrides. It kind of,
Right,
it makes it very difficult to implement software like that. So take a look at it better. And again,
yeah, I'd rather
it-
save somebody's job than to
Right.
do that
right. Yeah,
myself.
yeah. So
But if people like using Vadar, then that might be a
it's
place,
different.
if they don't like using it, then maybe.
Then you can write it off,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they're looking to change.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
You could-
And again,
it's the user, the one that's
Right.
actually using it,
Right.
is the one that
Yeah.
should be able to tell you
Whether they like
Mhm.
whether they like it
Yeah,
or
it's
not,
not-
how easy it is.
Not up to
Because when I worked, the higher ups, they never came to the people that actually use the software.
Right,
They
right.
just went and bought
Yeah.
whatever they wanted, and then they dumped it on the people that used it. And many times it was horrible, made your job 10 times harder than it
It-
was with the old software.
yeah.
So would want to go out and reach out to those folks who
right,
actually
Exactly.
using it.
right, yeah, get user input. It's kind of like, exactly,
Is it only the accounting department that uses it?
accounting,
Assessing.
probably treasurer,
Treasurer, I think,
Treasurer.
yeah,
I would say,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a couple of departments that I'm sure are using different pieces.
And
Yeah.
they have their own software packages on top of it. So there's what workflows have to change because you change the software.
Right.
My background in the last 10, 15 years was implementation of new business systems. And what you heard from everybody, oh, this is so hard, it's so different. But that's what it was. It was different than what you were used to.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Right.
of like, so there is comfort in knowing what your keystrokes are.
Mhm.
I
change
had,
is hard.
yeah, it's change is hard. There was one group, there's too many clicks. I have to click too many times on the new software. But you click versus type, it's kind of like, they were just,
Yeah.
it was just changes, and
Yeah, there is that.
so I'm not saying one way or the other, it's kind of like, but you have to take the users. I remember, again, going back, it's kind of like, we were upgrading from a really old IBM mainframe database to the new user interface GUI interfaces. And somebody was describing how they wanted the new software to work. And I said, you're describing how the old software is. Yes, that's how I want it to work. It's kind of like, so, no,
It's what you use.
it's what you used to, it's kind
Sometimes
of like,
yeah.
and so enough of the old.
Sometimes
But
it
sometimes
is,
the
but
people
some,
will say, oh, I can't stand this program, or
Yeah.
these people are unresponsive,
And
I have
that's huge.
questions.
Yeah.
It's how the
Yeah.
interaction is.
It is,
Well, that's
happening.
true.
And
but
Yeah.
I've also
So-
known some software packages that were forced on me, made my job harder because
Mhm.
the old system I could do in 10 minutes. The new system it took, 3 times as long, so it became frustrating.
Right.
Yeah,
But there's
Agreed.
always that period of time to get used to a new
Yeah.
thing, but
there is, it's kind of like it, and I was gonna say.
I didn't feel the presentation was that great.
No, there was no data about Townsend, it was what, canned for what they had, it's kind of like.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you can't tell a lot in 15 minutes.
Right,
no.
exactly,
No.
so if other companies, if we bring in other companies and they show us something different and see what the pricing for those are, that might be a way to go.
It seems like we definitely need to talk to this Vadar company,
Mhm.
we're already using them.
Right.
If we're using 3 different packages from them,
Mhm.
if we add 1 or 2 more,
Might not be that
it may
big.
not be that, it might not be that
It
bad.
might, so
Yeah.
we need to find out.
All right, 'cause a lot
what
of
the
times these
plans are.
companies, I mean, in situations like that, they give you a bundle deal.
Right,
Where-
to stay with them.
Right, 'cause-
Yeah,
And again, I don't know exactly where ClearGov may be. I know where Vader's headquartered out of.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
right. You can always drive down there and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Nobody answers the phone.
Or they can drive out here. It's kind of, so, I think we're in agreement with the ClearGov software that it was a little expensive for the town, like the budget that we had, and we'd like to see alternate presentations, for other companies that do this work.
That's my feeling.
Okay, thank you. And it's kind of like, I'll hit everybody after with one more war story of changing systems when I changed jobs. Okay, item 3 is discuss and capture recommendations to select board for the budgeting process. I just wanted to revisit this. We had, when I say we, and I think it was Kathy, you met with them to go over the spreadsheets
Yes, and
and things, and we haven't seen,
we haven't heard anything
we haven't
more.
heard anything, so.
No,
How do you look?
we just told them what we wanted, basically.
Okay, so we need
Yeah,
to,
so we
So there was
haven't really, no.
So,
So,
maybe-
and I don't know how much time they've had to really do anything. I think Nelson's probably pretty out straight,
I
quite honestly,
think,
from what
yeah.
I've seen,
yeah, so
listened to on the select board's
Mhm.
meetings.
Yeah.
They're throwing a lot at him, I think.
Right, yeah.
So,
okay, so we'll throw a little bit more
I know,
at them. But we're
I
in
know.
budget season, so we need to see it, so.
but I think, I would like to see us have a little more input, exactly. I
yeah.
couldn't think of,
Yeah.
in the budget instead of the selectmen.
Preparing it and then saying. what do you think?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and we'll try to, maybe what we should do is try to have a joint with them sometime.
Well, it'd be nice to know if Nelson has sent out the budget message and when he is going to, if he's going to, because
Because
which time is limited.
There was,
the budget.
Yeah, the budget
Yeah.
sheets, budget message, you know,
Oh,
if
yeah.
anybody gets
Yeah.
raises, I mean, we need to see that too.
Mhm.
We need to see
Right,
that
and the
really,
contract.
really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because don't forget that, everybody's in negotiations this year for unions and everything
Everything
else.
Some
else.
retroactive.
Right, some are retroactive. Yeah, the police are retroactive right now.
I think it's the
Yeah.
police, yeah, so, and I don't know that they've done anything towards that. So,
Right, which could be.
I mean, that's huge.
That's all.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
And if he's leaving,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you're right, he's probably between now and when he
He's got a lot
resigned,
of-
Holidays
he's
coming up, yeah.
the holidays, you
And
gotta,
he's trying to wrap up a lot of stuff.
I would say there's a lot of projects.
So how long has he been, he's only been here a little over a year, right?
August,
August
yeah.
of 24.
Yeah, so he's been
Yeah.
here a little over a
let's
year.
say 18, yeah, well, closing in on 18 months. 17.
Hmm.
So what do we do in January for that?
Yeah.
did we
probably
ever have
think-
the standardized forms that were gonna go up, you know, that they had talked about standardizing? the
No,
forms?
we haven't seen
We
anything.
haven't
We
seen
sat
anything.
and talked to them about what we would like and
Right.
we haven't heard or seen anything.
We
since.
haven't seen the results of the discussion, so we need to.
I mean, what we were asking for wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, just, there were, your discussions were around the ones that had the kind of information we
Right.
were looking for.
And then to standardize the account numbers.
Mhm, the account numbers and names, so that.
Yeah, so that we
Yeah, so
would
bring
know
both of them in, yeah,
what exactly it
and
was.
easier to then transpose on the bus, and
Right.
make sure there's no.
So no more miscellaneous.
It's little, if
As
you do
little as
have,
possible.
yeah,
As long as they explain what miscellaneous
Right,
The
is,
other is,
if everything that
What
doesn't
is
fit in.
other?
Yeah.
or other, or,
The other part that I have learned through the last year or so with reports, if we want to know what's in a miscellaneous, we can ask for a report of what's been
purchase.
purchased, what purchase order or what payments they've made
oh,
against each
okay.
of those lines, so
Each account.
each
Okay.
account. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can go a level of detail lower or 2 levels of detail lower into that kind of detailed information. So if it's not provided to us, we can ask for
Okay.
maybe more
Is,
detail.
is there really a difference between the nomenclature other and the miscellaneous?
Is there a different word you mean?
I mean, do you just do away with
With
one of
one
them,
versus the
with
other?
one of them
Again,
versus just to make it more streamlined,
we-
because what's the,
I think other would be better.
Well, I know we used other, especially for elections.
Mhm.
And it was the miscellaneous expenses that comes up that you may not be
no,
aware
Right.
of.
but just,
And
you know,
again,
just the
Because there's
kind
so
of,
many unfunded mandates thrown at us from the state.
oh, well, yeah,
All
there's
the
that.
departments, not just
Yeah.
town clerk.
Well, everything from the state's
Mm.
unfunded is pretty much,
Yeah, but you have to do it and you have to pay.
yeah.
So, yeah, and I don't know where we're gonna get the money that's gonna be needed this year because all departments cut
Mhm.
so much.
Right, yeah,
To
well,
keep
that's the
jobs.
thing, yeah, so those were the pieces, so we need to be very careful with that and take a look at what
Yeah.
it is. I know, Nelson showed us he did a 5-year outlook at the presentation where we saw the ClickUp software. He showed us the outline of the 5-year plan. It looks like the DLS one. So basically, it broke down to the 5 or 6 areas of the budget, like general government, public safety. And he could take and then add a certain percentage in each of the columns for the next 5 years. So that if you had a change, you would see how much more money was needed. And what it showed was each year with the 2.5, just 2.5 money coming in, we were gonna be short, bigger and bigger every year. So it's kind of like, so it started short in FY '27 and it grew for all 5 years. So
So if DLS
It's
has
basically-
the software going back to ClearGov, why are we using a company anyways? Why aren't we just using DLS?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good
Which is
question.
free.
Right,
right?
DLS is free, DLS has charts, so you can go back and they have our data back a few years.
Oh, yeah, they would.
So they capture it every year. And you can go in and change the settings on your DLS.
So why are we
That's kind of
paying
a
anybody
no-brainer,
then?
wouldn't it be?
Yeah, why are we paying
But it
anybody?
doesn't help with the forward budgeting, it's only the back.
Oh, it's only
Oh,
back.
backwards,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you
still,
still
but-
have to
but
know
couldn't
what
you
you
figure
did in
out-
the past to go
Exactly,
forward.
you know,
but-
you need to know
Okay.
where you came from to know
Right.
To get to the.
Yeah.
where you're going. It's kind of like, so one piece is to try to help with where you're going, but the ClearGov software was also showing you where you've been, but that says that we have to load all of the old data. And
And
again, it's kind of like, I go, is it
And who
the
loads
budget,
it?
the budget we vote in May? Or does it need to be the budget as it ended at the end of the fiscal year? Is what we should be showing, because we had municipal transfer requests, we have reserve fund transfers, there is other money that goes into that budget that increases lines.
but ClearGov wasn't really clear on who's actually gonna input the
Well,
data.
and which is the other piece in question, which is who's responsible for what as we move forward.
I thought
Um,
I sort of got the opinion, excuse my voice,
Mhm.
that that he was gonna have each of the departments do their own. It didn't sound like they were entering.
No,
Yeah,
but somebody.
Did I count?
yeah, no, I think you're right
Mm.
there, but
Right.
then again,
We need a list of the data that's going in.
Right.
Is our contracts going in? So that you know and can predict when you
Who
have a
reads our
contract.
contracts?
who's
Right,
even
and-
monitoring the contract?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody's monitoring
So-
any of the
so-
contracts.
That's the piece. It's kind of like, is the software gonna
Well,
solve
that's
the
the part
problem
of the
for us,
problem.
or is it just gonna create
But yeah,
confusion
we brought
because
that up at the
it's an
planning board
incomplete
meeting.
picture?
Yeah.
That one of our contracts, I mean, the gentleman practically said,
Nobody.
we're not gonna, I can't deliver.
Yeah.
The contract ends and you're not gonna get, basically, and part of it's because
Nobody reads the contract.
nobody is
Right.
checking on any of these contracts. Nobody's enforcing deliverables. Nobody's looking at
Mhm.
anything.
Right. Yeah, well,
Um,
Yep, now that makes sense. It's kind of like, and who's responsible for the money.
and are we ever gonna find out about this fire truck? Cause that's gonna go into the budget
I don't
if-
know.
if we,
Yeah, because.
if we owe additional, I don't even, I mean,
I mean, we
Well,
owe
to
the 80,
outfit
but
it,
now
they need
it's
money.
Steve wants 120.
well, where is that in the budget?
I don't know.
But is that per fire truck or is that for both of them?
Well, I don't
No,
know.
no, oh, yeah, true. Is it
Well,
one?
yeah, cause we got
both.
two fire trucks, so is that per fire truck?
Exactly.
Or is it for the both of them? And then, I don't know, when does that,
When are they coming?
Well, where are they?
even Haverhill,
Yeah, they were
Mary
supposed to come
Jane,
in July.
Mary
July.
Jane said they were in Haverhill
Yeah,
to
what
be
do you-
outfitted, but there's no money to outfit them,
So
so I
are they
don't,
just sitting there, so they charging us to
I have no idea. And then
rent the space to hold the truck?
what's with the lawsuit, like how,
I don't know.
when does that like go to court or what, I mean, because
I don't know.
how does that
That'll take
affect?
A long time, I think.
Could be
Oh, that could
forever.
be years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
How does does the town have insurance to settle
I would
lawsuits?
think,
they,
yeah.
yeah, but it only goes up to $1 million from what I understand. for a
Okay.
claim. So if they're awarded more than that,
Okay,
who knows?
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
but I'm more concerned about the money for the fire trucks,
Yeah, I am
because
too.
that's.
Well, that's like now.
Right.
Yeah, because
now,
that's
and I
an
think they've already
unfunded,
followed
or
it.
that's an
Yeah.
unfunded requirement.
Yeah, so we're using the same old fire trucks we've been using right along, even though.
Well, well,
Where do
to
they
me,
go?
but the other thing is, who contracts and doesn't put a contract out for a fully function equipped?
Well,
I-
there's nothing else for the loan for it.
Right.
Well,
to
even,
include that.
but even if it has to be outfitted at a different location, you still capture the funding in
Right.
your contract. So that
Exactly.
you know you have the funding to pay for it.
That's correct.
but I don't know.
I could get into that, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, that's something.
But this is money that we're gonna,
You have to come up with.
we're probably gonna have to come up with, because we've already paid $1 million for 2 fire trucks, so.
And what was ordered before that was probably delivered.
Well, and what's
Because it wasn't-
happening with the fire trucks that they are going to be replacing? Is there a way to get money
Can we take some stuff off of them and
and
Put 'em back
reuse
on.
it, or
I know you
can we
need to get
sell
new
them,
hoses,
and
right,
how
right.
much can we
Yeah,
sell
right.
them
Obviously,
for?
yeah.
Well, yeah,
But I mean, what about the other stuff? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, but
I know there was talk about selling them as surplus and, or possibly doing some work to get more, but that means you have to come up with money to. upgrade
Or more
it.
what?
well, if you're gonna retrofit the old trucks, you still need money to retrofit the old trucks, or
Why can't you just sell them?
sell them as is.
Sell them as is.
There was a
and-
fire truck for sale coming in from Fitchburg,
Mhm.
and it had Westminster.
Right, yeah. yeah,
Had Westminster on it, fire truck
At
for
the bottom,
sale.
yeah, at the bottom of 13 where it
Right,
hits 2A.
I was like, I almost drove off the
Just
road
before
looking
the
at it now.
Yeah, just before the Walmart Hill on the
Yeah.
right, that used car,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
the truck was there.
Oh,
How much was
Sale.
it, how much was it listed for?
You know,
I didn't have it on the
it
window.
didn't have a
It-
they
price.
didn't have it up the window. They probably
See
could.
how fast it moves. It
Well,
doesn't
it's
move.
gone.
Oh, it's gone?
Ah,
Okay, so
okay.
Well,
So it did
some little
Oh.
town,
I was gonna say,
Well,
little towns
see,
could
some
do it,
little town
or
would buy,
some
like,
collectors.
Maybe, I mean, I know Ashby was down a
Hmm.
truck at one point. Why didn't we sell them some? I mean, I don't know if they got it replaced or not. I don't
Right,
know.
How
but
many
then we
trucks do
would've
we
been done.
have?
I
Does
have
anybody
no
know?
idea.
No, that's,
Yeah.
that's something I think capital, we should be able to get an inventory list because we have to have them insured. So we should have them on the
Yeah.
insurance policy, so we should know, where we are, but total, we need to look at that inventory of,
Speaking of capital plan though, I
Yeah.
should come off and Kathy's gonna.
yeah, I know, I just made the note,
Yeah,
I got it on my list.
I was
of
Because I'm there
Make
for
sure
another
you
year and I
have to-
really
Yeah.
don't want to be.
Yeah.
There,
okay,
Well, I think you were,
27.
but you were the general public, you weren't from here.
Carol was from planning
planning.
and I was from here. wasn't
Okay.
I? I think I was from here.
Well, what
There.
was
I
Mark?
thought-
Was he
What
general
was
public?
Mark? Maybe
Mark
not.
was the
no,
chair, but what was he
No,
from?
I think Mark,
I don't know.
Who was he representing? He was the chairperson.
he was the chairperson, so,
But I don't
maybe it
remember.
was.
It wasn't
I
like we
think it
get a
was
lot of
confusing.
volunteers for anything. so we-
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think we left in finance committee because we
Oh, I
thought it
could
was.
be. And
we
I
thought
went
it
to
was-
town. I went to,
And then you went to
all right.
the town.
But Mark's not on it anymore.
March is not on it because, the term would have ended,
Okay,
for him. So,
so Jerry, you want to still be on
yeah, it's kind of, so,
it? Good
The-
company.
sorry, we're jumping a little.
Okay, we're getting.
Little- yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
off
but-
Yeah, what do they call
It's kinda
that?
like,
We get a notice from
yeah.
somebody.
Yeah,
shortly.
somebody.
No, it's kind of like, but we, so. we're gonna-
Budgeting process is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Budgeting process was where we were
Yeah.
going and.
Okay.
Yeah, so we haven't seen anything.
We haven't
Any-
seen anything, so we need to see it in a special, trying to get it before it goes out to see that is up, the changes we're recommending and requesting
No,
are in there.
I don't know if this is, well, it is off
Yeah.
topic, so never mind.
We're gonna get a whole bunch of,
Well, when we get to the agenda for next item.
Oh,
next
okay.
meeting,
Okay,
we kind of,
I'll
that
have
would,
to write it down.
Mhm.
okay. So that's, that's a piece. So, yeah, it's kind of like, there was a lot of budget in there, but we were starting to go. Correspondence, I, left it on the menu, on the agenda. There is nothing that has come in, but, if I go back to the last meeting, the, manual, from MMA, that we were talking about printing. We had an agreement that, Sabrina would print 2 copies. One that we could, if somebody wanted to take it, touch it, we read a few pages or copy a few pages.
Okay,
It's available, and the other was gonna be in the town clerk's office, so we were gonna make 2 copies,
okay.
so that
Do you know, are they making it
yeah,
internally?
we're gonna do it, just copy it on
Okay,
the machines, put it in 3-ring binder, so it's gonna be, 187 pages.
okay.
You may not have been here, and
I think I was
apologize.
there for that discussion, and we said we weren't gonna
To spend that money.
spend the
Right.
money
Yeah.
to print them.
Yeah.
We
They
didn't
wanted,
feel it
they
was
wanted
worth.
too much to print the 10 copies this year.
Yeah,
So, but there's no saying that we can't go out and try to get it quoted somewhere else too, but for now, we've at least got 2 hard copies available to us.
okay.
That we can use, and if they wanted to print extra copies, just so that they had them, because I know they took 2 copies last year for town hall.
Oh,
Well, town administrator wanted to see one too,
okay.
so, if they have it, so that was the piece, no more, it's kind of like, we've got that. Now, we got setting the next meeting, but I'll go to the agenda items for the next meeting, so it doesn't go too far. Yeah,
Do we already have another meeting for this month? Seth?
we don't have a meeting for the month set up, because we're getting close to the holidays. So
Right.
kind of 2 weeks puts us at the 17th, which is
Right.
just a week out from. But we may have another meeting if,
It's a dual meeting.
select board- if the select board and the board of health.
Oh, we'll have to see what. they
We'll have
come
to
up
see
with
where that is, but
Okay.
other than that, do we want, well, what was your agenda item for the next meeting?
Articles for the
Ah.
special town meeting in January. Wondering if you've heard if there's any money articles on that by any chance?
I have not yet, I haven't
No, okay,
put a warrant, yeah.
because we're gonna have to be really careful with the
Mhm,
money.
right.
I mean, there isn't any,
Yeah.
right? Do we know what free cash is?
We don't yet,
Yeah,
I haven't, I
okay.
have not heard, that we've settled on, that they've closed out. I know they had printed the reports and sent them off to,
Yeah.
DLS, but,
Okay,
um,
so that would be something to.
yeah.
Do we
touch
know
base on with-
roughly the amount on that, what it's gonna be? No,
It's hard to say. I know when we looked at the BVA at the close, there was the 507, but you don't know what your revenues were,
Right.
whether you met the
Right.
targets for that. We had asked for those reports of what were the revenues for FY 25, and we never received anything.
And then
So we'll reach out
Then-
again, because they should have prepared them for DLS, so they should be readily available.
right, so maybe put on the agenda to try to get that.
Yeah.
Get that
Yeah.
information.
How much
Yeah,
free
like-
cash?
FY 25 and,
Yeah, and snow and ice comes out of that, right?
right, snow and ice will come out of it, which we don't know yet.
Yeah, how much was yesterday's storm?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
I-
probably a few pennies anyways.
Hmm.
It's a little bit more snow than,
Yeah,
Well, but snow event is better than ice event for snow and ice
oh,
budget.
that's for sure.
So, because salt is still expensive. So if you're plowing trucks, you do a little less, but I personally, I thought they started a little later. I thought there was more snow on the ground before I saw my first truck.
Well, the
Oh.
state didn't do any better either, I'll tell you, because
No.
119 was not good.
Hmm, yeah, so,
yeah, they did come a little later in the day. Yeah.
Well, I think they have fewer,
It's okay.
they're looking
And they-
for.
Yeah, they
Well,
don't have to-
everywhere you look, there's plow drivers wanted
Wanted,
everywhere.
yeah.
Everywhere
Every
you
town,
drive,
every-
there's,
Every town's.
every town has got.
so I'll make the note for that FY 25 for news and.
So we could do Kathy.
What's that?
Well,
Oh, there you go. He said she
You
gets
don't have
off of the truck and.
yeah, you don't have to have a CDL anymore.
There you go.
Yeah, on the new.
Could you picture us? I
Yeah.
think Mary
Um,
Letourneau used to.
Does anybody else have any, because if the articles for the warrant, do you know when they're closing it?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's
But
fair enough,
it's
right?
gotta be opened and closed very shortly, I would think. I
Right,
mean,
If
what
it
do
is
they think in the last, Tuesday in January?
In January is usually when it,
Do we know
As
what
long as
the
you don't have to
articles
smoke.
it's gonna be looking at?
I have no idea, but there's usually some,
yep,
I think a lot of zoning and stuff comes then.
Oh, we might have some planning board bylaw thingies. Maybe, yeah, now that I think about that.
Mhm.
I
It's
think
just
we
not a
got-
good time of year to have a special town meeting.
We're,
October is so much better. November,
right,
Yeah.
but we don't have the free cash certified by then, so it's kind of,
yeah.
and again, and yeah, lots of different things, and for reasons when we were pushing money around, and for the cruisers, it's kind of like they were trying to go to $0 for the cruiser. I said, if we don't have the special in January, then you're talking June before cruiser money is available.
Yeah.
So, it kind of,
I thought the cruises were paid for.
they are now. It's kind of like, I'm going back in history.
Oh,
Kind of like-
okay.
So, yeah, but the reason we wouldn't have the money is we didn't get a quorum for special in January. We pushed it off. a
Didn't
couple of
it
weeks.
snow?
snowed, there was snow, and then when they had it in February, we didn't get a quorum, so
Okay.
it really didn't make
And
it.
that's the problem with having it so late.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
weather-wise, people go home, they don't wanna come out at night.
Mhm.
No, it's this time of the year I could,
You
it's
just wanna
dark,
go
oh,
home
it's
and-
so dark so early, I wanna be by.
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
So I'll see what we have for that schedule. and
So
Alright.
when does
we'll-
free cash get certified?
Sometime late Q2, which is now, or early Q3 usually. So I've seen it as late as like the third week of January to be certified.
Okay, so,
And
It's
it's
always
early.
that late?
Not always, sometimes
I
I've
thought
seen
it
it
was-
first week of December.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was earlier than that generally.
Does it depend on how messed up the books were at the end of the prior fiscal year?
It depends on, are they getting the data they need to certify, or do they have to continue to ask for additional items? But to your point, I won't say it's messed up, it's just the data they're looking for wasn't part of the package submitted, so they come back for additional data, which takes time to then prepare and provide to them. So there's some back and forth on the certification, to make sure.
So we're not gonna set a next meeting?
No, I
That
will,
point.
I will leave it off. I'll send email out if we're having a meeting with Board of Health and Board of Selectmen
okay,
to see that, and it's in December.
So do we wanna set up in January?
I think in January for sure. I mean, you know, like I say, I mean, 2 weeks out, it's that week before Christmas, sometimes people are traveling, so it's so,
So when do we
we can-
usually meet? Is it the first or second? First and third, or second and fourth?
we go second and fourth because we had been doing Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, so we were going opposite the Board of Selectmen.
yeah,
So they're they're first and third.
okay.
So we're gonna do second, so we're gonna go back to Tuesdays?
Unless everybody's good with Wednesdays, we can make that.
I'd rather do Tuesdays myself.
okay,
Tuesday's good with me.
yeah, Tuesday's fine.
Yeah, I think,
So the 13th,
Is that, is that the
that would
next,
be,
Is
yeah,
that the 13th?
January 13th for the next
and we're
meeting?
keeping the time at 6? Okay.
Is that good with you, Dave, 6 o'clock?
Not on January 13th,
Ah.
unfortunately.
What time is better?
6:30?
is.
No,
the
January
13th.
13th, I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
Oh, yeah, okay,
So, okay, so
So
that
we can
week.
do it
could
6
we-
then.
so we can do 6.
How about 4?
Yeah.
4
Are you
o'clock's
gonna
fine
be
with
gone
me.
that week, or,
No, just that day I'm not
Can we
available.
meet
I mean,
early?
do you want it?
Although
I
I guess I'm not totally certain. I schedule it for Tuesday the 13th.
Okay.
If I can make it, I will make it.
Okay.
If I can't make it,
2.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Now, the next one might be the night of the,
That, it happens with it, so
The night of the what?
so should we
the
meet
night of the town meeting.
the day
it's the
before,
fourth.
the day
Yeah.
after, or probably be better?
What's the next one after that?
Well, the
would be
13th, yeah, the
27th.
13th, we could, if we have the warrant, we would have the warrant articles definitely by then. So we
Okay,
can look at,
so we can look at
So the
those.
13th at 6, we're planning for the next one, right?
Yes.
yeah, That's the definite plan.
Yep.
In the meantime, if we have Board of Health and,
Right, if we have a Board of Health, if we have a joint meeting,
Yeah.
you'll let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then what, the 27th would be the next one? And we're saying that the issue with the 27th
Is
is,
town meeting, right?
Could be town meeting,
Could
but
be.
we don't know for
right,
sure.
yeah.
Could be
we
the
don't know
town
till they-
meeting.
till they-
So the 27th
It could
is
be the
20,
20th,
is
I don't know.
tentative.
right,
27 would be tentative if it is.
Okay.
so we won't schedule that one then, we won't schedule the
No,
second
we-
one for January yet,
No, I think we'll have to,
we'll wait.
but,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, because the warrant would, and again, not only, the warrants only give us half of the information, we really need the motion to know what the motion's gonna be.
right,
And they never give them out early,
Early, right.
which is
It's kinda-
really a shame.
No, so it's kind of like, so we'll see
Yeah.
if we can,
Who's gonna take it over?
right, because if we're doing the 27th,
I don't know.
mm,
I'm sure they'll try to hire an interim in the meantime.
I would expect.
What, between now and the town meeting?
Well, after January 5th. We can,
It's gonna be a quick hire.
kind
I'm
of,
sure they'll come up with,
so.
what happens if we don't have an interim in place on the 5th?
someone's gonna do the job.
Right, somebody, they,
I nominate John.
Oh, yeah, I'll second that.
Do we tell the state to send someone down?
no,
I
like,
know.
I know last time when, we didn't have somebody in the position for a while, the state came in and recommended, highly recommended, strongly recommended that we get an interim. So I suspect.
Because the selectmen were doing the job.
Kind of, so, we, that having been the history with it, I'm sure they're looking for an interim, but again, with the budget and the tight budget of FY '26, it kind of, makes it difficult to.
I think you're right about having to
So,
have more action to the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, we'll,
I mean, even if you have an interim,
mhm,
does
They
that
gotta get up
interim
to
know the
speed.
budget?
right,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, cause it's gonna be
Right.
right in,
so.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm at the end of the agenda.
Move that we adjourn?
We can make a move to adjourn. I get 6:50 PM.
I guess I'll second
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor to adjourn?
I,
it. Aye.
Unanimous. We stand adjourned. Thank you, TCAM. Cookies are available when you come up to unplug.
The recording has stopped.
Feel free.
Well, okay, that was interesting. I'm glad it didn't go on any longer. My anxiety was really exploding. I always get anxiety watching this meeting. It's unreal how they talk in circles. They complain about things, but nobody has an idea. Nobody will go find the information out. They're just sitting there waiting for somebody to bring it to them. They have to go get this information. They need to be, somebody in that room should be doing research on this ClearGov thing. Actually, there's communities, half the state's using it. They should go talk to the other communities. Actually, somebody on the FinCom. And our closest neighbor, Pepperell, uses it. Go onto the Pepperell website. You can see a lot of what it does. And they don't even know what's going on in DLS. I don't think that they have an idea that our long-term debt has tripled. And I want to know what the impact is going to be on the budget for the future. If whoever came up with that brainstorm, and that was actually the treasurer along with the Board of Selectmen, they came up with this idea to extend our debt so that we wouldn't have to pay any principal, we just pay interest. So we now owe more. Every year we're just going to owe more because we're not paying anything on the debt service. Our debt service hasn't changed. And this is insane. And these folks should be on top of that. Everybody in that room should be going on to the DLS website at least once a week, at least, and seeing what the latest data is. I don't know, it depends on how often they change it, but they've got most of our data. There'll be more changes as we do get the free cash certified. But looking at there's the status board, basically, that shows every town in Massachusetts. When you look up Townsend, you're going to have a damn heart attack, anybody that looks at it. And we have to do something, which is still part of my campaign to do an override. But these people need to understand what our budget looks like, and they don't know. Not just our budget, but our ongoing financial situation, the trending. I sent them all a packet, I think it was this morning or yesterday, I can't remember now, on what was put out regarding 5-year plan, which was actually a regional plan. It was from the school, the finance subcommittee of the school committee, that I got the financial packet. I think some of them already had some of the information because they did attend the budget summit, but they haven't discussed it. There was the budget summit, and nobody has talked about. 2 people in that room attended the budget summit from the school, and they haven't talked about the data that they have in their hands. And I gave them another copy, and they're still, I mean, it wasn't on their agenda for tonight, so they couldn't discuss it, but they got to get on the stick, because that's giving them what's happening in this town, the forecasting. And, when it comes to ClearGov, they don't have any idea what that is for. It is not a replacement for Vadar. It is not a replacement for some of the software that they're using. Probably the big component of ClearGov that I'm really strongly want to see is it protects us from using things like Excel. The last few years, they've supposedly made errors in determining the budget in the formulas as you come down on the totals, and nobody caught it. The people, and I mean, I really do think that some of it was deliberate, but I can't prove that. But it will do away with, these people just look at Excel line items. Like, stop it. You need to look at what it means. What are the trends? What does it mean for our town? How do you know we can't afford something? How do you know? You don't. You need to be able to look at something other than an Excel spreadsheet that is full of errors. You don't even know. But ClearGov, and even a comparative, DLS does not do something that ClearGov doesn't do. You can't use one instead of the other. Well, you need to use ClearGov. And that gives you an opportunity where the data is input, but it's evaluated properly, and it produces the transparency and the understanding of the data that the FinCom, the Board of Selectmen, and in particular the town administrator or town manager, whatever town you're in, can use to evaluate what needs to happen. And it does some of the work for you. It doesn't do it completely. You have to know what this is talking about. But they get into the minutia. And what we need, Nelson didn't know how to do a 5-year budget plan or trend or financial forecast. Apparently he spit one out a few weeks ago. I think I have it somewhere. But this ClearGov will take care of, and it'll save us money. The initial getting it loaded, that is the most labor intensive part of this. But the key here is getting past that and then getting it into practice. It will take at least 6 months just to get things going, and then another year for it to be completely indoctrinated, I guess, assimilated into the town. And it provides an opportunity for the FinCom, for the town administrator, for the Board of Selectmen, for our financial team, and for particularly us, the taxpayers, to be able to look at this and say, oh, and we can trust the data. We can trust the data. I mean, if something gets input wrong, it carries over. It's like it's functioning as a database, and Excel is not a database. It's a financial spreadsheet. It's only good in the column you're in. You can carry columns over, but it doesn't work the same as a database. Most people around here have never even seen a database. Microsoft Access, which nobody's using, I don't even know. I think it still exists. I used to get it. I used to pay for it. I used to love it. And because there used to be a software program called Database. That was the name of it, DBase. And, I'd learned how to use that. And it's like, wow, this is great. Because the job I had many years ago, we needed to have a lot of data. And you could easily, you could play with that. And ClearGov is modern. I'm talking about into the 80s, 90s, early 90s. Okay, that was golden. Now today it does it for you, especially with AI. Ooh, yes, but ClearGov takes away the human factor. Nobody's going to cheat, and you're going to know the data is going to connect. It will go from the proper column. It's not like I think this is where I'm supposed to put that link. I think I want to connect these different fields. Excel is full of opportunity. I like Excel for what it's intended for. I do. I love Excel. And I think most people do. They use it. But it's not a database, and you can't trust it. It's a very strong garbage in, garbage out. And our town does not have even the people qualified or interested or that even understand what they're looking at. And I know that's part of why Nelson quit. I know it. That he's just not up for the task. He really hasn't known how to manage some of this stuff. And he was advocating for ClearGov initially. I don't even remember whether he is anymore. In order to, because it's not a magic pill, but it's almost magic when you can say, oh wow, I just have to ask it, get the data input, and that's the toughest part of getting ClearGov or anything like it. But I'm advocating for ClearGov strongly because it's becoming the standard across the state. Every town in Massachusetts hasn't taken it up yet, but most of them have, and it's spreading. People like it, and you're used to being able to use it across towns. And the way we change employees, having somebody that's used ClearGov is what you're going to find if you're going to get somebody with any experience. Oh yeah, I've used ClearGov, we're good. But it's not just an account. It's not an accounting program. It's an analysis program. It's so you can look at where you stand. What kind of trouble are we in? What's our percentages? I sent a whole book on evaluating your financial situation. I sent them a whole book, and I don't know if anybody's even opened it, but you need to have these the percentages, the statistics on how you know how much trouble you're in, and once you know this data, you know what you have to do, and what's the only way out. And you can't just throw money at things, even though, we're at the point where we're going to have to throw money at a lot of things, which is why I'm advocating for an override, because we have to fix this. We are really in big trouble. I can throw, if I want to blame this and that and over this one and that one and this person and that person, that's just not, it doesn't matter anymore. And most of our financial problem isn't simply to say, this one did something wrong, this one's incompetent, this one didn't do that. That's a whole different conversation. The money is still the issue. And there's there's mistakes that have been made by lots of people in that town hall, and even some of us out here in the community. And but a lot of it is misinterpretation, not understanding, and not trusting. We don't trust town hall, and town hall doesn't trust the voters to do the right thing. And there's a serious communication problem, and the data is just, the people that are supposedly making decisions, they don't know how to read the data either. So we got to We got to fix this. We can't keep an employee. We tried to hire an accountant, but we don't have the money to pay one. We're back to paying for an agency to provide us some support. That's not good enough. And this just not, it's unsustainable. And it's going to crash and burn very quickly. We're going to need more money than what we are paying Nelson. We're replacing our town administrator. We're not going to get another one at the salary we were paying him. We're not. It is not happening. And he had no experience. He had never been a town administrator before. He had never worked in a town hall before. He worked DPW. The first time that man had ever been in a town meeting was last May. He had never even been to a town meeting. Never mind run one. So we got to pay somebody probably $50,000 more than we are paying him, because we absolutely must have somebody with more experience. We can't take somebody who just wants to get their feet wet and I'll give it a try. No, we need somebody that has the knowledge and the experience to fix this and to move forward and to be able to communicate to not just the select board, but to the community on what the hell's going on. And we're going to have to pay at least, I think he's at like 120 something. We're going to have to pay somewhere around 170. And that might not be enough. I'm being conservative, but we're going to have to, but we don't have the money in our budget, but we have to pay him. We can't not do that. And we've got the employees, we're doing negotiations right now. We don't have the money to give them a raise of any amount. But they're negotiating something, and they're probably, Nelson was trying to say 2% last night, despite the fact that negotiations are still going on. But there's nothing wrong with him saying that. There was nothing crazy about that. But that's when you're budgeting, that's your planning number, and there's nothing wrong with that, because it could be, in a perfect world, it could be 3 or it could be 1 when you come out. But you just throw something at the wall and just leave it there so that you can do some financial figuring in the room. There's nothing wrong with him saying 2% last night. What did he say? 2% on salary, 2% on step. That's 2%. That's fine. But we don't know that that's what it's going to be anyway. And that's fine. But we don't have the money no matter what. And then we're going to do 27. We already know that new growth is coming in exceptionally low. So we're not going to get much of a boost in our levy. And we have more things that are going to come off the levy. We may actually have a net loss. We may have to have a budget that's less than what it is this year. I believe that our budget right now for this year is in deficit. They were talking about last night, 270,000 in the hole. That's probably more than that, which means they got to come up with $270,000 between now and June 30th of this year. I don't think there's a plan. It could be part of why Nelson's running out the door. It's like, I have no idea what you're going to do, but nobody's listening. And he doesn't know either. Anyway, nobody knows, but because they had to make cuts that equate to 200, like, what are you going to cut? And which has to happen this year anyway. So whoever's spending any money, you need to stop spending money. The FinCom likes to print documents, and they had a conversation about, it's too much money to print 10. You don't need to print any. We need to stop all the printing, because this is 2025. And if I, as a 68-year-old woman, I've given up on paper. I don't want paper stuff. Don't give me something on paper. Send me an email. Send me a PDF. I'll read it online. I don't want paper, because then I got to get rid of it. I got piles of paper in my house already. I've really gotten rid of some of the stuff. I don't want this. I either scan things in, or, the documents that I have that are printed, I don't need printed anymore. I throw it away and I get it online. Everybody needs to do that. And there should be no excuse. No excuse. If you don't have a computer, go down to the library and download something and save it on I don't know. But we're printing everything. So, but we got to cut. Every department needs to start cutting costs. Stop buying Sometimes, I will often bring up office supplies, but that adds up. So don't buy any pens. Nobody buy any paper. Share. Bring it from home. I mean, don't buy it with your own money, but just come on. Reduce this and reduce postage. Only mail things that are legally required to be mailed. Even, I go to the treasurer. I pay my taxes in person usually. And treasurer said, I don't know what, she says that I'm not the only one. Dozens of people go in. And most of us that are older. But, I don't know why people come in. They can pay it online. Well, you have to pay a fee. There's an extra fee to pay things online. So we walk into town hall and pay with a check. But we're not mailings that we cut these expenses. Everybody, the town needs to, as much as I'm talking pennies, but we've got $100,000 worth of pennies that we need to make cuts to this year. But, we're really in trouble. I can't even express to you, which I'm working on. I'm going to be doing it. I got to get the snow and ice. I can't wait to get my hands on the snow and ice reports that are for the first quarter or this quarter so that I can do a presentation to show you. In fact, in this meeting a few minutes ago, a little bit ago, they were saying that, I don't know, Don said he thinks that our free cash is going to be somewhere around 507. It's 507,000. And then, of course, because everybody's got a shopping list, what are we going to spend the money on? You're not going to have any left of that because this year, our snow and ice deficit for last year, the deficit after the budgeted amount was 351,000 that they had to take out of free cash. And they screwed up and they spent free cash before they did that, so there wasn't enough. We're going to find ourselves in a deeper hole this year because if we only got 500,000, nobody should be planning on 1 cent of that money going anywhere because they level funded this year. They level funded when they did the budget last year because they were trying to cut every corner. They did not add any money into snow and ice to account for increases in cost of what sand and salt and fuel and everything that makes this everything they did yesterday. And they're still doing overnight because there was a little thawing this morning or today. The temperature was above freezing, so there's ice in the road. And there's still snow in the road. They've got to treat the roads again tonight, and they were still doing cleanup this afternoon. So those are all snow and ice expenses, and it's early. This was an early storm, people. What are we in for? What are we in for? But they level funded. So sand went up, salt went up, fuel, everything has gone up that's associated with snow and ice. And they've only budgeted 200 and something thousand. So where we were in deficit 351,000 last spring, I'm anticipating we're going to be in deficit at least 400,000. That's a conservative number. At least 400,000 of a deficit this upcoming spring. And if we're only getting 507 in free cash, if we get that much, that 400,000 is most of that money. And they should not spend 1 red cent of free cash on anything. They definitely, if they have a $270,000 deficit now, they can't cover it with free cash because that would only leave 100,000. If my conservative number holds, I don't think 400 is really enough, but I'm saying that that's okay. My conservative, the at least number that needs to be held back for snow and ice to close out snow and ice is 400. I don't know that that's enough, but because our free cash is so tight, they can't spend a nickel. They can't commit to using any of that money to cover any other deficit except the snow and ice deficit. They got to find somewhere else to get the money. If we're I'm certain we have a deficit. I don't know that I trust the 270,000 number, but just knowing what the conversation's been from town meeting to now, there's a deficit in there. And I have to agree, going back to ClearGov, I have to agree that we can't afford it right now because we can't come up with the money anywhere. And free cash is off the table for me. but we need to do it like July 1st. It would be better to do it this time of year because you're already got your budget, and it doesn't matter because it's just another day. Okay. So put it off, even though the numbers will be higher in July, get it on the budget for fiscal year 27, so that when we go to town meeting, we'll have it on there. And they're looking at 20 for a full year, 20, and then 7,600 for setup costs, and then there's probably a little bit of licensing. Then they want to have a couple of other modules, which I agree we should, because we just don't have live human beings that can do this. We need, if we got a software that will do a lot of the hard work for us, let's do it. Let's not try to go cheap. We keep going cheap and we keep going deeper in the hole. We need this. I would go with the capital planning module, and if there's an other module that is outside of the accounting office, I mean, whatever they need in order to input some of the other things. But for the people who are making the decisions, which is the select board, the FinCom, and the taxpayers, and the town administrator, whatever modules they need to do their job, we need to make sure they're there and to understand what's happening so that they don't have to say, well, what does that mean? Well, if I change this number, what'll happen? No. If you have ClearGov, you won't be doing that. It'll give you what you need. Okay, you can more clearly differentiate what's right and wrong and what's going to happen. You can run scenarios, which is good, but you're not screwing up the whole spreadsheet and then forgetting to put it back, which is what's been happening the last few years. You've got morons running this stuff. So we probably would have to, 30. I'm being a little large. This is higher than we probably need, but at this stage, I would guesstimate 35,000 in the budget for ClearGov for 2027. I know that is high, but for planning purposes, we're just planning. Okay. I'm not committing anybody to anything. I'll do that later. But for right now, as we're trying to guesstimate where we're going, that's the number. And I've got my list here. I've got a list. Here, got a list. You can't hardly see it. You can't see it. But I got a list here that just handwritten at this point of what things need to be dealt with on the override. And we need an override. I'm just going to say that again. We're going to need an override next year, and I'm going to prove it to you. And I'm going to get you to agree with me. I mean, there's people that never override, but you don't even know why. And I'm going to tell you why. And that's something that Town Hall has just never told you. They just won't. They don't know how. They don't understand it. And my goal, my mission is transparency, number one. But two, I want to take that transparency that I believe in strongly and apply it here to why we need an override. And I'm going to break down those budget items that are causing the problem. Not, we just need money for this. We needed this for that. And, the schools are evil. And, no, I'm going to tell you what things are costing. And some of these things may be a result of problems that we've had. Like we need more legal costs because we don't have people in positions who know enough about their job that we're getting into caca. Everybody's got to call a lawyer every 5 minutes. And they're providing legal advice on things that they shouldn't need to. Our leadership and people in key positions need to know their job better. Well, how do you manage that? You hire good people, and so you don't put the money into legal costs. And then here we are. We've got $1 million lawsuit. We've got 2 major league ethics complaints. And we've got a town administrator who's running out the damn door because he really doesn't know what to do. And he doesn't. I mean, and I don't think, nothing against Nelson. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but he got in over his head. He shouldn't have been hired. And it's not because he didn't do anything wrong in that process. Chaz and Joe hired him. And no, it never should have. And the committee was even upset about that because of the way they went about it. And then they left. So we haven't had anything. But I want to show you where we're in trouble. And these budget items, that the only way to fix this is an override. And it's been like 20 years or so since we've had an override. And let me tell you about 2.5. Most towns, almost except for the extremely affluent. We have, actually in Western Mass, we've got people who have a tax rate. There's a couple towns in Western Mass that have a tax rate of like 2%. It's because they're mega wealthy, and they're tiny. They don't need anything. They don't need anything. I mean, it's really, I was going through this information's available on the state website. Like, wow. But their per capita income is over $1 million. No, I mean, some of it's well over 100,000. Just everybody is making, the average income is well over 100,000 per person, counting everybody. Yep. So, but those people, they don't need to do this. But most communities, 2.5 is a good structural stopgap. It's to limit the craziness that could happen. And it was a taxpayer revolt that got us 2.5. And it's always been tough on towns to stay with it. And in towns it's no different. But almost every town in Massachusetts has to do a reboot every so often. And what by that I mean to kick in some extra, increase the levy. And it's the levy. It's not increasing your taxes. Your taxes do go up. But it doesn't impact your tax rate. It will help your tax rate, actually. Well, yes and no. Because our tax rate is determined by the assessed value of all the homes combined in Townsend. And then when we do an override, it has a minimal impact on the actual taxes you pay, even if we do $1 million override. And I'm not saying that I'm asking for that. It's really minimal. But yet the tax levy will go up. And there's other things that come after the tax levy, including new growth. And doing an override doesn't get us out of, we need to continue working on getting new growth. And we need to, you still need to be proficient at things. But almost every town has to do that reboot, and we got to do an override in order to catch up. But the expenses have gone. Our ability to just pay the bills has exceeded our ability to tax. It exceeds the 2.5 times a few years. And to give you an example, the cost of living went up over 8% during COVID. Up 2.5. We could, wait a minute. And every year, the things that I'm going to target for this year, as I talk to you about an override, one of them is the snow and ice. We have to add more money to that budget item, because our free cash whatever happens this year, I don't know, but next year, if we don't add like 200,000 to that, we are going to be in the hole. CPA is a different thing. And I know a lot of times people talk to me about senior citizens not being able to pay it. I have a plan. I'm going to discuss it later on, which is something in fact, I started talking about it before the FinCom started. But there's an opportunity to add another exemption in our tax base and it's a senior exemption, to help seniors who are in the place where everybody worries about. You say, well, we got all these seniors that can't afford it. Okay, if you are in that category, then you should qualify for this senior exemption that I'm talking about. And if we can pass an override with that senior exemption, then we've killed two birds with one stone. We're going to have the override to help. You can't dump the CPA. You have to wait 3 years. So we haven't even done the CPA yet. We just got the CPA. Not one penny has come out on anybody's tax bill yet. It's going to be when we get our tax bills in February and May, there will be a CPA number on there. Like, I'm exempt because my income's lower than that. And people who are in certain levels are going to be exempt. And I see Townsend has a good chunk of people that aren't going to be paying the CPA tax because we're exempt. Our income is too low. So the CPA is only going to impact those who have, well, I'm going to loosely refer to the people that have an ability to pay, even though you don't want to. I don't hit me, don't throw things at me. But there is an opportunity for those who are senior and do not have an ability to pay. There is another senior exemption that's available starting for this year that we can throw onto the fire at town meeting. And if we pass that, then the override won't impact them. It won't impact them. It won't impact them, I'm going to say, just overall as much. They might even have to pay less than the core, because I don't know how I'd have to, it's a percentage, it's based on percentages. But I'm going to be proposing that the town, as we get closer, I'll even try to do a petition to get it on the annual town meeting warrant. If the select board won't do it, I suspect that they'd be too chicken, because that could pass and the override won't. But I want to ask the townspeople to please pass the senior exemption and the override, because then you're going to be addressing the seniors who can't afford to, which is what I hear all the time. Oh, seniors, and I've said it. I've campaigned that way when I've been against overrides. All the seniors are on fixed income, they can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. I want to address that with this new thing offered by Department of Revenue that we can put on our town meeting to give another senior exemption that would address those seniors. We already have seniors that are exempt from a lot of stuff, but then there's another category that would exempt more. And I want to, if we can do both of those, then come on, people, we need this override, because we need 200,000 for snow and ice. I'll have a school's number as we get closer. They're trying to cut our employees' health insurance benefits, and we can't afford to pay competent employees. The employees that we have that have been here for years, we're really screwing them. They could go work somewhere else for more money and without the bullshit. And we can't get any professionals to come in here that are qualified. So we've got to increase, we need to do an override number to cover, because if health insurance goes up, they're looking at ways to cut it. But it goes up all the time. It goes up on everybody, and even the group plans. So we need to up that. So I'm gonna figure out what that number is that I'd recommend for an override for that category. Then, because of everything going on, without throwing anybody under the bus, we need to increase our costs for legal services, because everything is so effed up. We're really spending more money on lawyers, and rightfully. In some ways, I say we should pay more. We need more lawyers, but on the other token, if we could take care of the other problems, we won't. In a couple of years, we might not need as much. But at the same token, the cost of legal services, they want to raise too. And in order to have a law firm that is competent, you can't get a lawyer that doesn't do municipal law. And we got a whole firm. And then another thing is coming out of the town clerk's office, election costs are skyrocketing. And I'll blame the select board on this. They did away with constables, and then they just gave a raise to the police to increase their detail pay, which they weren't thinking about how much that's going to cost the town, even this year and going into next year, that isn't budgeted, is If the cops get to get paid more for a detail, that means we have to pay more for the cops that are doing details at elections. And anything else that any other department needs a cop for, which could include highway and water department when they're doing work on the roads. We have to hire cops on a detail and we have to pay them. And it's not budgeted. So, but I put election costs here as one of the items. And this is an ongoing. You can't do an override for just things that are separate that aren't ongoing. But we have elections every year. Different years we have different numbers. This year we've got, well, we're going to have a special town meeting in January. They'll probably come up with another damn one. Then we have an election, a regular municipal election in April. Then we have town meeting, and God knows how that's going to go. And I'm talking override. I don't know what the select board are going to do, but that could create, there'll be, I am not interested in having an override question on a special town meeting. I want it to go to the ballot and then town meeting, and which are already scheduled. That's my goal. I want to avoid the extras. If something, I think that I'm really hoping I can gain your trust on this override question. And I'm going to talk as much as I can about it and provide more details as I go and be clear about it. And I think I'm listing things now, which is more than the select board have done for 3 years. So, but this is, and they certainly haven't talked to the townspeople. They've just talked at the table and not wanted anybody to know. And then they go into executive session to talk about it. I want to tell you exactly what kind of trouble we're in and why an override is absolutely necessary. And it's really not as painful as as everybody's worried about. But almost every town in Massachusetts has had to reboot their books in order to bring us back up to where we need to be on a level playing field. Not to go out and let's go buy new toys. The only new toy I can think that I'm advocating for is ClearGov. And that's even though it's like $30,000 that I want to assign override money to, would be ongoing. We need to keep ClearGov for the future. But that is to make it possible for all the other stuff to work seamlessly and to keep everybody without having to cause more expenses that we can't cover. And it will save us money in the long run. And there's a couple other small items that I keep coming up in my head, but these are the big ones. And I am looking at my list, maybe 500,000, but probably more, because I know I don't have the full picture of the budget right now. These are just the things that I know are in crisis, and this is 500K. I'm thinking there's another 500K. In fact, it's more than that. It's going to be more than 500K, but it's probably $1 million. So oh no, she's done. No, don't do that. Because we've been so long without level funding our budget. I mean, not level funding, bringing us up to a level playing field where we can actually afford what we've already got. And it is probably $1 million to bring us up to a level playing field. And then I got to keep fighting, and you have to keep fighting. Don't let me do all the talking. Talk to our leaders and tell them you want transparency, because they don't understand even what the word means. So, and they've got to talk more, and they've got to talk to the FinCom, and the select board need to talk, and they need to get off the minutia and talk about where the budget is, not the line items. I could give a shit about each single line item. Stop. What is the picture? What is the big picture? No, I'm losing my mind. So anyway, I'm venting long enough. What time is it? 7:30. Okay. So that's how it is. I mean, the FinCom gets me all riled up, and they're not. They didn't accomplish anything tonight. They just complained. We don't have this. We don't understand that. Well, why can't we just do that? When they should have done their homework by now. I mean, everything they talked about tonight, they should have been having the answers already, not a bitch session and more questions. They should have had the answers. They have got all the documents. They've been given an enormous amount of information. They have it. They need to have it on that table. Well, not in printed, but on all those little laptops they had. Everybody should be in there with a laptop or an iPad or whatever they got. And they should be looking at the same documents that they have. They've got every single one of them has the documents to explain everything. And they talked about ClearGov, and we don't understand. That presentation wasn't very much. Why don't you go to the ClearGov website and go to, I suggest Pepperell. Just Pepperell. But then go to other towns. You don't have to leave your house to look at Pepperell or look at some of these other towns. I'd look at like Northborough. Northborough, their budgeting has been top notch. And then also, I know John Kadir just got over to Ashburnham. I doubt that he's got everything running the way he wants yet. I mean, he's really good. He's a rock star when it comes to municipal budgeting. And he just got hired. He was at Northborough, then he went to Framingham, and now he's at Ashburnham. But he's a rock star, and we can't have him. He won't, no. Although that would be interesting. If he's having issues in Ashburnham, I'm going to personally invite John to come over here. We'll be advertising a position, John, so if you want to come over, name your price. I will recommend an override to pay you. He is a rock star, and I would, if he wants to leave Ashburnham already, I will campaign for him to come over here. But because we need a budget guy, and he's it. He's the guy. Some people misunderstand him, but I've just seen him in action for several years, and I'm telling you, rock star. I don't know him personally. He doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, but I've seen him in action. I've seen his presentations for years, and I know what he's capable of, and I know he can make our budget sing, and he can. But he's like, sometimes it's like talking to a rocket scientist. Okay, what did he just say? He is transparent, but you have to know what he's talking about. But anyway, but in order, we need competent people, and we don't have any. I don't think we have anybody. I don't know. We got to turn everything upside down, and we need an override. I'm going to keep saying it 100,000 times if I have to, but we need to hire competent people, and we can't say, oh, we only have 100,000. 100,000, for a lot of our per capita income, I think is around 35, 40. And so, but any halfway professional job is over 100,000. So, but we need somebody that isn't just entry level professional person. We need somebody that's got years of experience under their belt to fix us. We have to be willing to pay that. And because they'll just laugh. And then our benefits suck too. And they're talking this week of cutting them. And if we don't do an override, that's all we're left with. We can't have a town administrator office that's run by volunteers. We can't. We are already in trouble. We're going to the wolves already. We need an override. And I'm thinking it could be $1 million, at least $500K. That's my minimum number. Minimum. I'm thinking $1 million because that's where we are. And I'm just repeating myself too much right now. And my anxiety is still up after watching that shit show of a FinCom meeting. I'm glad it was a short one. I was really agitated at the beginning. You have no idea how badly I wanted to turn on my mic and give them my 2 cents. I did send one text. I did send a text to one of the FinCom members and told her the snow and ice issue. I don't think they've looked at it. They talk about snow and ice, but I don't think they know the numbers. They don't know the numbers. They just know, well, we need to have snow and ice. We have to take snow and ice out of the free cash, right? Do you have any idea what kind of deficit you're talking about? Oh boy. There may not be enough in free cash to cover snow and ice. So stop it. Oh boy. So, and that's an absolute, I'm gonna do another cycle on the override issues. All right. I'm gonna call it a night. I haven't eaten. I haven't had time. 2 days of dealing with snow. I've got to feed my cats. What time is it? My cats are really mad now. I can hear them running around upstairs. That's right. I got them locked up upstairs now, so they won't try to join me in the video. So, yeah. So I'm going to go do that. It's supposed to be very cold tonight. Make sure you turn your heat up, check your pipes, all that kind of stuff. Tonight and tomorrow. Cold, cold, cold. I think it's cold tonight. I could be wrong. I'm going to have to check the weather again. So I've already jacked my heat up. We'll see. Anyway, all right. I'm going to call it quits for now. And I've been meaning to do more videos. I wanted to do another one. Maybe I'll do one in the morning. Depends on what's going on. Oh, man. I think there's more meetings tomorrow. I have to look. I'll let you know. So I'm glad I'm able to do these live streams. People are enjoying them. I didn't get bitched at tonight. They were excited. Oh, good. Doing a live stream? Yeah. Okay. Which helps because the FinCom meeting comes up. Whatever meeting I do, it's available right away. They can review it right away. Even the board members, that they can review what happened at their own meeting. If they, what happened last night? We got to wait for TCAM to come up with it. No, you don't. You just go to my channel and look it up. And then you can go and you can rewind it. Like right now, I'm still talking. People are probably watching a recording. They're watching the live stream now, and they can just rewind. If you're watching this now and you want to watch it from the beginning, just rewind it. Just scroll the tab on the bottom there and watch it from the beginning. And you can watch this in 2 hours. That's when it's going to be back up. Oh shit, I went over 2 hours. No shorts out of this one. Okay, so and then the townspeople have already had the opportunity to see this, and you'll be able to look at it all week. Where it'll be a week and a half before TCAM gets it up. So here you are. You can see what I'm dealing with. Why I have anxiety. Oh, I'd love to. Nobody's talking, so I don't know who's in here. I know I have people in the stream. I just don't know who you are. I wish I could tell. I wish it would tell me. I don't think I can figure this out. No, I have 4 people. They're still putting up with me talking and repeating myself. And you want to throw things because I'm asking for an override. I've said more about an override and given you more information than the select board have in 3 years. Yes, indeed. So anyway, that's a plus. I think that's a plus. I should have that going for me when we're really going to get serious about it. Okay, I'm going to see you on the next one. I've got to end the stream, and I got things to do before I go to bed tonight, and I'm tired. Okay, have a good evening. Stay warm, and I'll catch you on the next video. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, let's see. How about this? Okay, hit the like button, right? And then subscribe. I'm learning more bells and whistles about this program. So hit the like button if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't done that. And I will see you on the next video. So have a good one. Thank you.